Coming up on Network Africa. Mudslide at a rubbish dump in Conakry, Guinea leaves at least 8 people dead. Polls open today in Angola as citizens vote for a new leader after almost 40 years. And aid workers offer support to traumatized children after Sierra Leone's mudslide. Let's begin Network Africa. At least 11 people have been beheaded in an attack at a checkpoint controlled by Libyan military strongman Khalifa Haftar, about 300 miles south of the capital, Tripoli. The dead include 9 soldiers and 2 civilians. However, ISIS is yet to claim responsibility for that attack. More in Guinea now. At least 8 people have died and many others injured after a portion of a rubbish landfill site collapsed on houses on the outskirts of the capital, Conakry. Rescue officials say a young girl was pulled alive from the debris and rushed to the hospital after the incident occurred in the Dar es Salaam neighborhood during an overnight deluge. The area, which is filled with wood and tin roof houses, is situated at the base of a towering mass of refuse. This disaster follows the landslide in Sierra Leone and Democratic Republic of Congo, in which hundreds of people were killed since early last week. Experts say the constant shift in rainfall patterns, rampant deforestation, and expanding urban depopulations are increasing the risk of deadly mudslides across West and Central Africa. Meanwhile, in Sierra Leone, donations are still coming in for those who survived the deadly mudslide in Freetown. As the death toll from the disaster rises, aid workers set up psychosocial support centers for children facing the trauma of losing their families. Flooding and homelessness with the prospects of more rains and the continued risk of further landslides. Take a look. Let's move elsewhere now. We go to Angola, where the citizens head to the polls to vote for a replacement after almost 40 years. Veteran leader José Eduardo dos Santos has been in power in the oil-rich country since 1979, making him the world's second longest-serving president. Defense Minister João Lourenço is standing for the ruling MPLA party, with his main challenger expected to be Isaias Semakuva from the MPLA civil war rival UNITA. Angolan analysts say the MPLA, which has been in power since independence in 1975, is likely to win. International observers, led by former Prime Minister José Maria, say they are satisfied with the preparations and the election progress. Well, questions have also been raised as to how much power Lourenço will have if he wins, given veteran leader José Eduardo dos Santos, 74, will continue as head of the ruling People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola and have potentially a sweeping say over decision-making. Let's get more on this. We're joined on the program by Zenida Machado, researcher at the Human Rights Watch, with a focus on Lusophone Africa, including Angola. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
After 38 years in power, why has President dos Santos decided now that he wants to step down and allow somebody else to rule?
I think no obvious reasons has been given to the public as yet. The MPLA would argue that it's time for renewal of within the party itself, and it was time for them to choose somebody who would replace President Sanchez, the party candidate for this election. Outside the party, there have been comments and discussions about the president's health and his ability to continue as the head of state and continue to lead Angola in the future. So because of those two main reasons, it's believed that the president has decided to step down and leave the space for somebody else to run the country.
What does the Human Rights Watch make of President dos Santos' 38 years in power, almost 4 decades?
Any of those three assets earlier, but now he got to the point that
there have been mixed feelings about what
gave
president
it up.
has
Your
for
take on what he
Angola
was
in
trying
these
to accomplish
almost 4
by
decades.
stockpiling all of those
One has to
assets, but then
recognize
ultimately giving it up to get Kyrie Irving.
Well, you give it up to get Kyrie.
Up to now. So one has to give him credit for what he done for keeping the country stable and in peace. However, you have to also see that for him to do that, in order to do that, he had to limit the space of his critics. So, for example, he had to crack down on protests, arrest activists, had to crack down on
I think we seem to be having some technical issues. I'm having problems hearing her there, and some interruptions in the audio. Let's just move on and take a look at some other stories. In East Africa, Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IEBC, has submitted 54,000 documents of electoral material at the Supreme Court in response to the National Super Alliance President's petition challenging the re-election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The 109-volume of documents is expected to contain all forms 34As, 34As, 34Bs, and 34C, and seek to reboot claims that by Raila Odinga and Kolonzo Musyoka on electoral malpractices as regards the August 8th presidential poll. The court will now hold a pre-trial sitting for all parties to agree on how the case will proceed. If the petition sails through, Kenya will have to go back to a general election in 60 days. But if thrown out, President Kenyatta will be sworn in on September the 12th.
We've brought all the forms, the original forms that were used in the election, in as far as the declaration of results were concerned, and all the forms are here. So if there be need for scrutiny, we've also published them on the public portal, and we invite you to go look at them.